Hello guys, what do I have with me here? Well, this is a Type 14, well, a sword that should be a Type 14, made by Regenyei. It's a blunt arming sword. Relatively nice, it has a good guard, it has an interesting pommel, and it has a nice big blade. However, it's not exactly a 14. You see, Type 14 starts really wide, like this sword, and then tapers down gradually, like this sword doesn't do. What I will do, as you can see here, is make the taper more aggressive somewhere around the start of the fuller, well, the end of the fuller, really. And I'll make it taper a lot more. Now, this may not look like a huge amount of material, and it's not, but it will take some time because it's hardened steel, and I have to work carefully so as not to fuck up the hardening. If I do manage to do that, and do it relatively well, I'll have a little bit more of a nimble sword. Maybe it will flex a little bit more, because right now the flex is kind of not there. It will feel lighter in the hand, and it will hit lighter in sparring. If I like it, I might keep it. If I'm happy but not so much with the result, I might just sell it. Either way, I have some job to do. It's important to note that there are Type 14 blades, like Oxshot's Moon brand, that have a wide tip with little profile taper. However, they have other methods to fix the balance issues, like multiple fullers, or in Moonbrand's case, a very thin blade in the second half. Nowadays, Regenyei sells a similar sword, which he terms a Type 13B. However, that doesn't make much sense, because Type 13 is explicitly stated to have near parallel profile, like these examples here. I'm grinding the blade slowly and carefully. A powerful grinder like this can easily take away too much metal, and it can also heat up the edge and ruin the tempering and the heat treatment. Which is why every few grinds I put it in a bucket of cold water, wipe it, and then continue on. I had to also work on both sides and grind even from the base of the blade to make everything smooth and gradual. And finally, I didn't tape it, but my girlfriend did. I did some work with angle grinder. Not sure if that achieved much. And here it is. It's done. As much as I could. It was a lot of grinding, but now it's tapering quite nicely. And it does feel lighter. I didn't remove a lot of weight, probably less than 50 grams, but because it was mostly near the tip and the second part of the blade, you can feel it a lot, and you can really tell, yeah, there is a difference. Although, if you compare it to before, the difference seems quite slight. I did also try to add some disto taper, but that probably wasn't very successful. Sadly, the sword's disto taper is a bit confused. So it starts thin, then it gets thicker, and then it finally gets thinner again, which doesn't make much sense. How do I tell if I achieved something here? Well, if I just grab this sword and do really big, powerful, full body cuts, you can't really feel the difference. Weight and maybe the very general balance will have an effect, but a fine tuning like this, you won't feel it that way. How you can feel it? Well, specifically with an arming sword, you can do thrusts, short thrusts at different angles, and see how easy it is to keep the point where you want it to be. Another option, try cross grip cuts. So like a Svedhal. Or a Shiohao. generally a sword that pulls too much forward will be a lot more straining to the wrist with those kinds of cuts. A sword that pulls less would feel a little bit better. I can definitely see the difference here. And another place where you can feel it is in parries and changing the direction of the sword really quickly, really sharply. Like, I don't need to use those kinds of actions all the time, but when I do, it's nice to know that now I have a more responsive sword. So does it mean I will keep it? I don't know. I'll play with it a little bit and see if it makes sense for me. Now I have a couple of arming swords, so if it's not something that will be useful for me, I should just sell it and get another one. But I at least made the prospective buyer happier for sure, because this definitely handles better than before.